Tomorrow has finally come. We are no longer in a hurry. We have reached the destination. What's up, XL? Now let's talk about Hurry Up Tomorrow. These are kind of my first impressions off first and second listen. I'm not gonna really get too deep into any particular song on there. I just want to give my opinions because everybody has one, right? And this one's just my opinion on a record. Um, I'll say right off the rip, overall, I love this project. Very much enjoy it. I think he has a lot of stuff on here that requires a lot more listens. In regards to album rankings, how does it affect that? That's something that I'm like not even gonna be able to get to until like a month or two later, 3 months, like after like finally knowing all the words, vibing with this project, sitting with it more. I'm not gonna be able to rank it. I know some people are quickly like ranking projects and all that stuff. For me, it's gonna take a little bit of time. I gotta know every breath, every word, every pause that he takes in these damn songs before I could like slap it into my rankings. So, but I do think it's a very good album, if not great album, and I do think it's a great send off for the Weeknd, while also a great transition into whatever he wants to do as Abel. Um, in regards to the music, first impression of these songs. Now, a lot of the songs we've heard before, maybe not all of you, but if you were very in tune with some of the leaks, the snippets, all the above, when he's streamed some of these songs before, 4 or 5 years ago, we've heard a lot of them before, but there's also a lot of new stuff. Um, some of the songs like if you're looking at Big Sleep, the snippet to that being used for when he canceled his After Hours tour and announced that he's doing a stadium tour, which will become After Hours Till Dawn. Obviously, the Hold Your Heart snippet, or I guess leak track, been around for a long time, even though he reworked it. Some of the songs like Wake Me Up, The Crowd, some of those songs he's previewed before. We got him, and I love him. In regards to what we got, the sound, the tone, this project definitely sounds a lot more personal than all his previous stuff. Definitely sound a lot more introspective too. I feel like he's kind of gone to maybe places that he didn't before. He dabbled in territories that he didn't before, talking more about his father and even his mother and even his faith. So I think that's pretty interesting. Pretty, very interesting to get from him. I like how he talks about how the Weeknd, the character, is a crutch, but also a hindrance to him as well. It's not good for him. The crowd, are gonna, continue to scream his name, cheer for him, and want the Weeknd. But on the other side of it, he's falling apart as the Weeknd. It's unsustainable. The Weeknd represents his old self. It represents the sins. It represents the drugs, the overdoses, the fast life, and he's no longer able to maintain that. He's breaking apart, falling apart. Well, all we want is his blood. We just want the songs. We just want that character. He can't give it to us anymore. I very much enjoy this project, as you can hear, and like I said, a lot of these songs you really like. I feel like you really need to dedicate many listens, learn the words, look at the lyrics, and really like get it. You know what I mean? Before you can really formulate full on opinions and stuff, or have a full on whatever. Another thing that I do like, he brought back a lot of the 5 6-minute songs. He brought back a lot of the song transitions. Something that The Weeknd didn't do as much in the past that he brought out this go round in terms of doing something a little bit different is a lot of the samples. Definitely soul, R&B ish, very old school kind of samples that I think work very well with his vocals. He definitely dabbled into some of the R&B type of stuff, slower tempoed stuff, going back to some of the simpler instruments like the piano, right, the guitar, rather than all the synths and extra dressed up beats. Um, I did like the song transitions. It takes me back to the old days of, like, when I say the old days, I mean all the previous eras of The Weeknd where these. All right, I'm gonna start out the song. I'm gonna give you one of the songs in particular. I forgot what song it was. The name of it. He had like 4 beat changes. 3 beat was it? Give Up on Me. 3 or 4 beat changes. I'm like, what the heck? Now let's go to the features. Now, if you don't know, I'm not the biggest feature guy. I really don't like people being on the Weeknd project. However, I think he did. I think the features were actually pretty good this go round. They did not destroy the songs. They did decent. They did pretty good. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Lana, the Star Girl, returned. By far the best feature on here. Well, actually, I think that's in contention. That's in contention with Anita from Sao Paulo. That was a great feature too. But the return of Lana, I love how that was kept under wraps and nobody knew until the project came. I love it. I love the fact that he had it as a hidden feature rather than displaying her name. And this almost just takes us back to the start, or somewhat, I should say, the more popularized version of the Weeknd start. If you're talking about the Beauty Behind the Madness era, this takes us back to that start. Even getting into, like, on the song The Abyss that has Lana Del Rey, even getting into our part, he's kind of doing remnants of the cadence to As I Am from Beauty Behind the Madness. It's amazing. Like I said, Anita, I thought she did real good on Sao Paulo. I think that song definitely sounds a lot better in the context of the album than it did as a single. That's going to be a smash, especially when it hits concerts, especially when it hits the clubs. That's a smash. And it's probably good that it's sung in a different language where you don't understand what she's saying because you do not want to look at the translation for that. Future had a line or so. Future was also featured on here. He was alright as well. Other than a questionable line or two from Future, I thought he was alright. I thought Travis Scott actually had a pretty good feature that added to the song as well that he was on. I think that's Reflections Laughing or something like that. Man. So, features overall I thought were pretty good, pretty solid. Definitely enjoyed this project. It's going to require a lot of listens, a lot of analyzing of the words and lines and stuff. As I said before, probably not the biggest fan of Timeless, but in context of this album, I rock with Timeless. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty catchy. It definitely goes with the groove of this. This kind of takes me back to like the album sequencing. The album sequencing on here is actually pretty amazing. There's like a point where you're like, from the beginning to end, all the songs flow into each other, and it's an amazing. Whoever did the sequencing is amazing. Whoever did the making the songs flow into the other. It's a 22, technically 21 track record or album that doesn't really feel like it's like an hour and a half long, but it doesn't really feel like it because of the sequencing, the pacing. It starts out up tempo, slows down a little bit, and then starts to get a little serious. Starts to talk about this subject, that subject. I enjoy it. Like I said, I think it's a project that I enjoy. Can't yet rank it until I really like go through this. This is definitely probably his deepest project. I know some people say, or a lot of people say, they want the old Weeknd, or they want the Weeknd back, the old one, the old one, right? I definitely think he did give us remnants of that. If you're looking at the song "Cry for Me," kind of having the My Dear Melancholy plus a Die For You kind of cadence. I think it's a song Reflections Laughing. One of those songs that kind of has the Weeknd and Juicy J, like One of Those Nights kind of cadence. Uh, Another one of the songs, I'd have to look. I'm looking at a paper right now. Opening Night has a similar, like, sounds like Kissland, that's similar, like merry-go-round, carnival sound. Um, like I said, the beat changes on, like, Give Up On Me. A song like, you know, he also has remnants of, like, the Dawn FM kind of sound, and also some of the After Hours kind of vibes. Some of the beauty behind it. I think he took vibes from each album and kind of added to that. Now you're not gonna get the Weeknd, but I think he gave us great elements of those as you know, some of the try and do stuff too. Very much enjoy this project. It probably doesn't have as many, like, you know, blinding lights, jamming around, jumping around stuff like some of his previous stuff. However, I do think this is something he definitely took a lot more serious. You don't hear a lot of his, a lot of the flubbery, effery BS that he was putting into some of his other stuff. Not that it's bad. I like the other stuff, but he definitely took his time with this. He definitely wanted to make this mean something, and I appreciate it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts or your impressions of this. Yeah, with that being said, thank you, XO.